What is your one travel dream more than all other travel dreams? The place that you dream of and hope to go to in your lifetime. Real travel is when you take to the open road and you accept everything that comes your way, be it thrilling, joyful, difficult, or depressing. This is what the original explorers did. This sense of wonder is crucial. Unfortunately, efficiency and technology is killing our sense of wonder, which is the very thing that made us want to travel in the first place. Today, travel is almost entirely predictable. We can look at the Eiffel Tower on our internet and we can see 500,000 pictures of the Eiffel Tower, so that when we finally go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower for ourselves, we aren't experiencing the Eiffel Tower. We're comparing it to everything that technology has told us about this. This means that we have lost something. We have lost something from the experience of travel. Just because we can fly doesn't mean we always have to fly. Sometimes in life we should take the bus and go slowly and enjoy and embrace every discovery as it comes to us. Taking a bus, taking public transportation halfway around the world taught me to trust total strangers. I was at the mercy of strangers all the time. Now, there are villains out in the world. There are evil people who do evil things to one another, but they are the minority, thank goodness. Most people are wonderful and trustworthy, and travel teaches us this constantly. The opposite to wonder is terror. And unfortunately, we live in a day and age that is defined by terror. It defines the way we travel. Right now, we are being taught to be afraid of everything. In fact, I think we're more afraid now. The only antidote to terror is trust. And the way that we gain trust is through travel. Travel is one of the greatest human freedoms ever. I'll say it again. Travel is one of the greatest human freedoms ever. All of us are writing our lives in the present tense right now. We want to control the story. We want to add certainty to it. But if we do that too much, not only do we delete the sense of wonder that we have about our lives, but maybe we cancel out another possibility, another discovery that is far more invigorating and enlightening and perfect for us individually. My message is very simple. We need to plan less. Don't be a tourist in your life, taking pictures as it happens. Instead, we need to travel.
Good morning, parents, students, faculty, and friends. I'm here to talk to you guys about traveling today. Now, have any of you guys traveled somewhere where you have enjoyed it a lot? If so, can you please raise your hand? Well, I have too. And here today I'm to talk to you guys about my traveling experiences of mine and what you can gain from them. Now, imagine going to a location without knowing what was in store for you. Well, that is when traveling has its most pure effect. I have recently gained many things from traveling, either near or far. Now, there are many benefits of traveling in today's world. Traveling teaches you guys having patience at all times, and also the fact that exploring different cultures can give you new perspectives. And another big one is making friends with total strangers. Traveling also teaches you about the world, and when you go to travel somewhere, to me, when you go to travel somewhere, you are an empty chapter waiting to be written. Now, there is a famous quote by St. Augustine that says, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel have only one page." Traveling can teach you more or as much as school can, because how the mind of someone who has traveled other places has their head filled with knowledge of things, and any person who stayed in one spot their whole life thinks differently. But the traveler, if you ask him a question, he will give a greater answer because he has traveled and learned many things. This is because one of the main benefits of how you travel is getting to know more about the locals and learning about their cultures. This gives a whole nother view and thought train. One of the lessons I've learned from traveling is having patience, whether it is waiting in the airport or stuck in traffic. Having patience ultimately leads to a better experience. One of the times having patience helped me was when I was traveling. I was on a flight to Greece. The flight is approximately 12 hours. This much time left me wondering what could be so fascinating about a country that is roughly the size of Alabama, and where birthdays aren't that fascinating to them. Instead, they celebrate the day of the saint whom the saint they are named after. Also, the first Olympic Games were hosted in Greece was the only thing I knew about Greece, besides the part of their mythology or their history. Now, to be honest, I really didn't want to travel to Greece, but I was given no choice. So there I was in the airplane researching about the hot spots and cool places of Athens. Now, when we landed in Greece, I found that there was almost too much to do in Greece and that we weren't going to get through all of it. We went to the Parthenon, the Acropolis, the Temple of Zeus, and the Temple of Poseidon. Later, after we had seen some cool things Greece had to offer, I learned that waiting in a plane for some time is worth it, especially if it's the only country in the world with double its tourists per Greek. That's right, the country has more tourists annually than its own population. The second lesson I've learned from traveling is that exploring different cultures can give you new perspectives and views. Traveling to different places can help you experience new cultures. Now, culture is something that can't be taught and fully understood. You need to experience it. When witnessing other cultures, it can give you new perspectives on things such as the time when I realized that Greek families would have huge family dinners. I realized that life is short and spend it with those who appreciate you. I learned that having family time is precious and that you should never take it for granted. How many of you guys do special festivities with your family from time to time? How many festivities in other countries that I've seen have changed my views and have helped me see greatness in the little things. One of the biggest celebrations I've been part of has been the famous Holi celebration. The famous Holi celebration is a festival where people of all ages play outside with water and throw colored powder at each other. It isn't just celebrated in India now. Many people in the world have started celebrating it. This has taught me that something small can unite many people in the world and put aside differences. Traveling to me is often something I never really looked at as a hobby. I really didn't like until I looked beyond the nice beaches and the hotels. I looked at the community and how they were together, even with many problems they faced. Now, one of the other benefits from traveling is that you get to make friends with strangers. I cannot tell you how many times I found kids my age having the same interests as me when I travel. Once when I was traveling, I met these two kids that were pretty chill that lived right here in Phoenixville, close to me. We hung out near the pool and played basketball a lot. That same year, I saw them again on the baseball field, and then I said to myself, what a small world. You can also make friends with native locals and learn cool things about the places that you travel to. Plus, they also know the best and cool places to go. Now, the fourth lesson I learned was that happiness is infectious. When I would travel, I would drive by many cities and villages and see kids waving and families singing and dancing. This would put a huge smile on my face, because as you know, whenever someone laughs, I tend to laugh, even if it gets me in trouble. Whenever I see someone upset, I remember that something small like a joke, a smile or a joke can change someone's day. This could make the same person that was upset 5 minutes ago happy an hour later. He can pass an act like that to someone else and keep it going forward, and it would only take 33 days for the whole world to receive an act of kindness. Last spring, I was blessed to be able to go on the school trip to Florida with my friends and some of my favorite teachers. This trip taught me so much. For example, when we went to the Kennedy Space Center, I had learned about their space program more in depth, and I met a former astronaut. And then when we were at Disney World, I learned what made the rides better and attracted customers, the Walt Disney Way. It took the concept of us together as a community to a whole nother level. The Florida trip was a big chance to build and strengthen relationships with our teachers and friends. We learned more and more about each other, and that was a great opportunity to know each other better. Now, as I keep on traveling in the future with many different people, families, and friends, I will learn new lessons from them and pass them on throughout my journeys. I will leave you with a quote I saw somewhere. Travel is the only thing you buy that can make you richer. Thank you, everybody, and hopefully you have a great day.